Hi everyone, we are live on Facebook and the YouTube channel, our Industry Connect YouTube channel as well. So we're just going to wait just a little bit and see some people will come on. Okay, we're just going up. I'm sure that Facebook will be showing us having gone live now. So it's always just good to just wait a little bit longer while people jump on so they don't come in halfway through a conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, exactly. So we've got some people jumping on now. So hello everyone that's coming in, that's on our live right now. I'm just going to jump into it and just give you a bit of we've got 10 people. We've got 10 people on, Sam. We've got 10 people on. Welcome everyone.
Whoa.
So just so you know, we're going live with StreamYard. So if you have not been on one of our lives before and haven't given permission for StreamYard to see your profile in Facebook, please click on the link that I've put in the comments area. It's streamyard.com/Facebook. Click on there and just give permission. And then when you ask any questions or you comment, then I'll be able to see that and we'll be able to answer any questions if you've got any. Okay, so let's kick it off. I'm so proud and just pleased to have this lovely lady, Sam, with us, Sampada, with us tonight. Now, Sampada went through our Business Intelligence Data Analyst Job Ready program, and she secured herself a full-time position as a data analyst. Welcome, Sam. Thank you for joining us and some of your precious time to join us and have a bit of a chat.
Thank you so much, Carla, and thank you all of you who have joined this live session. Thanks for coming.
Yes, it's really good to see you. There's a few people on. So everyone, it's really nice to know who's on and also where you're coming in from. So like I said, click on that link, streamyard.com/Facebook in the comments. And then just tell us where you're coming in from as well. It's good to see who is watching. So to kick it off, Sam.
Yes.
You
excited.
You started your job 2 weeks ago.
Yes. I joined on 19th. Yep.
Yeah, we've had to kind of like find some time where you can jump on and have a bit of a chat with us. So Thank you so much for finding time.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
So let's just kick it off. Like, tell us a little bit about your background, Sam. Like what's your education background? Where have you come from? Just share a little bit.
So I come from India and I completed my bachelor's degree in computer science in 2015 back in India. There I worked for 2 years as a software developer where I worked on PHP. And I moved to Australia in 2018 and I moved here on visitor visa. And so after I got my work visa, so I started looking for jobs and it was like 2 years gap in my resume. And that's when I got to know about IC and MVP. And yes, thank you so much, IC and MVP, for this amazing community. I owe you so much.
So how did you come across us? Was it like on Facebook or did you Google for something or what?
So actually one of my friends, she didn't do the internship here, but she got to know about Industry Connect from Facebook. So she forwarded the link to me and she said, maybe have a look once. So I started watching the videos of the people who secured the job. And that's where I started thinking about joining IC and MVP. And yes, I finally did it. And yes,
you are where you are.
Yeah.
It's amazing because it's really interesting to find out how people come across us because there's a lot of different ways that people find us. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about, I know this is like, you've used a few things during your journey with Industry Connect and also over into your internship with MVP Studio, our partnering company. What things would you say are keys that you've used to get to where you are today as a data analyst, to secured a full-time job? So what keys would you say were the things that were keys for you?
So before getting into the keys, I would like to add something because I gave my first interview in 2018. So I really noticed some things about the interviews here in Australia and also in New Zealand as well. So it's not always the technical thing that you should focus on, but it's the behavioral part which is also important. So key for me was, so the training provided, the 6 weeks training, that's the most important. Never miss that, and even if you missed it, do watch the videos because that's the base. It provides the base. It provided me the base because I had this background of software developer and then I moved to data. So yeah, definitely I get to know about the how data is being stored in the organizations, what all tools and technologies are being used. So yes, starting with the technical stuff, I must say never miss the training. The
Can I
key
just
to
ask
me
a
was,
question, Sam?
yeah,
Why did you switch from software development to business intelligence data analyst? Because that's a very interesting move. What's
yeah,
the reason?
this was the question I was being asked in all of my interviews. And I moved because I used to work as a PHP developer where I worked on SQL as well in the backend, and in one of the project I used Tableau for 2 months. So that's where I realized I am least interested in PHP and stuff, and I am more interested in SQL and Tableau. So when I moved to Australia, I checked about the job market here in Australia and also where I can make use of SQL and Tableau, and that's where I got to know that data analysis is what I should move into. So yes.
Oh, so that was an interest because that kind of like sparked that interest having done that
Yeah.
SQL and
So
Tableau.
yeah, because when I was doing this PHP stuff, I think I was not quite interested in doing that. But when I used to write those stored procedures or those SQL queries, I used to get a lot of interest writing those. So yes,
Oh wow,
that's
that's
why I moved to data. Yeah.
yes, yeah. Carry on with what you were talking about before.
So yeah, I was telling about the key things. So training is important because you will learn the technical things. But for me, uh, the behavioral part was of the utmost importance. I think it's not just a technical thing that you should focus on, because it's not always the case that they're gonna ask about the technical stuff, because
mm,
behavioral is the most important, because they want to understand what kind of person you are, what kind of person you are, with the fact that how will you react in certain situations. So yeah, focus on behavioral part. And yes, never give up, because I gave up like multiple times.
did
Don't be
you?
impatient. Yeah.
Did you give up multiple times?
Yes, I did. So whenever I get rejected in any of the interviews, whenever my resume didn't get selected, I was impatient. I gave up. I didn't study it for like weeks or 2 weeks, and but then when I again started, I started with the aim that yes, I have to complete this stuff in this period of time. So yes, don't be impatient. If you're not getting selected in certain interviews, then there's definitely certain thing that you might be missing on, and that's not probably always the technical stuff that you might be missing. That could be some communication skill, that could be
Mm,
the way you are interacting with someone. And one of the thing which I had learned after all those soft skill sessions which the MVP studio provide. So whenever you go for interview, try to imitate the person who is taking the interview. Not imitate in the fact that if he's shaking his hand, start shaking the hand. But if he's a jolly kind of person, interact the way he is. If he is really serious, do not crack jokes. This is what I have experienced. So
so
yes,
did you learn that with the Yante?
yeah, yes,
Yes,
yes, yes.
Yante's on here. She's saying hello. And she's
Hello,
saying
Auntie.
congratulations, Sampada.
Thank you so much, and thank you for all your behavioral tips. That really helped me a lot, I must say. So thank you so much. And yes, hard work is important. very important. And one more thing I want to add, um, don't simply learn what is being taught in the in the training, or don't just focus on those particular things, because that's just the beginning, because there are so many more things apart from that. So when you apply for any job, I think out of 10, 6 or 7 jobs will ask for more than certain things. Like if it's a Power BI developer job, they won't just be asking about Power BI. I think there would be some add-ons to those jobs. And also, for an example, in the training, we are being taught about the Power BI stuff, but only Power BI is not the only tool which is being used for visualization. So make your view, broaden your view, try looking more, Google more what all tools and technologies could be used, because there are certain companies which use Tableau also. So just have idea about different tools and technologies being used. Yes, you cannot learn everything, but at least you can search what is like working in the market. So yes, this is what worked for me, because in this interview, the training interview, they mentioned in the job description about R, Python, and Azure, AWS. So yes, I haven't worked on Azure or AWS, but yeah, I googled so much about Azure that even though they didn't ask much questions about Azure, some or the other way, I explained them how Azure might be working in their company. So yes,
Well
so these
done.
are certain keys I would like to add. Yeah.
I think that as well, if you know what, obviously with the job description, what they're looking for, those specifics, or, there's little add-ons, then you can do your research and get skilled up, have some knowledge there. So you'd know, you could actually say, I'm not really proficient in this, but what I do know is this X, Y, Z, and it shows them that you've actually thought about it. You haven't just come along and just hoped your best that what you do say is going to be okay.
Yeah. Also, whenever you go for an interview, please Google their website. Please go through their website, and also it would be great if you can check for the person who's gonna take the interview, their profile on the LinkedIn. That really helped me, because in this interview, the person who took my interview and who is the one who I report to, he's a data scientist. So when he was telling me about his journey, I did added few points, because I went through his LinkedIn profile. So he was really impressed, that because this shows that yes, I am interested in the role, I'm interested in the company. So that's important. Yeah.
No, that's really good tips to research the company, see where they're at, and jump on that LinkedIn. Such a powerful little tool there, to just search out the company, even the company stuff on LinkedIn, and then who's the people who are the people that are interviewing you. Bit of a look, look around. Exactly, those are really good tips, Sampada. Those are very, very good tips. So what did you do? What about your CV? Now, when you first started, you came to Australia and you started applying. Was your CV up to scratch then, as far as I'm talking about how it was presented in the marketplace?
So when I first applied for my job in Australia in 2018, and comparing it to the scenario now, there is a huge difference in both the CVs and my personality, because I think you need to explain certain things, certain points in your CV as well, because when I think it's important, because when someone goes through your CV, they understand what kind of work you might have done, and what kind of experience you have. So I think we should not make a lengthy CV, but it should be quite elaborative, in the sense that it's not very lengthy. So because no one really goes through your CV. If it's a 3-page CV, no one really reads that 3-page CV. So, and yeah, I learned the fact that whatever is mentioned in the job descriptions, what those keywords, just
The
try to,
keyword.
yeah, just try to put that keywords on your CV. So yeah,
That's
this is
another good tip
important.
too. The keywords, to be able to keyword those into your CV.
Yeah.
Very, very important. That's a good tips.
Yes. Thank you.
Very good tips. So how many interviews did you go for before you landed this job?
Not much. I think 4. Yeah, this
4.
was my 5th. Because I didn't really applied for a lot of interviews. Because I had, so when I applied for any interview and when I got this, so when they schedule this interview, and if in case I got rejected, I like didn't apply for the jobs for like 1 or 2 months, because I was like preparing myself, because I didn't really wanted to get rejected again and again. So yes, I didn't really apply for lots of job. So this was my 5th
Wow.
one.
So
Yeah.
were you very specific in how you applied for which jobs?
Yeah.
Right.
So I from the very beginning, I decided I won't be applying for lots of job, but I would be applying for limited jobs, and I will prepare myself accordingly. And I did that.
That's
Because when you
really
apply for lots of job, you get confused, because
I
there's
think
lots
that's
to
right.
learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would. And I know we do talk about that you don't just go out and just basically spam them. You take
Yeah.
time, and it takes time to, put your keywording into your CV and your cover letter together and really think about it, how you're presenting yourself, because
Yeah.
it's just that, just words first that they see about you. So you want to be the best when you apply for those positions.
So
And so
true. Yeah.
I know you're in Australia. So what search engine? How did you find most of your jobs to apply for?
To be very honest, I didn't really apply for many jobs on my own. So once I joined this MVP and I started getting messages from recruiters on LinkedIn. So I mostly applied for those jobs where the recruiters approached me. So
Wow.
otherwise, yeah. So otherwise, there are lots of jobs on LinkedIn. So I didn't really went to the seek jobs, so I don't have much idea about that. But there are lots of jobs on LinkedIn as well. Yeah.
So in saying that, one of the tips would be get your LinkedIn profile all up to scratch.
Oh yes, LinkedIn is very important. I must tell you, when I updated that I am working with MVP, this was the first time when I started. My profile was started getting viewed and watched by recruiters or the managers. And apart from that, uploaded like 2, 3 of the Power BI reports, and after that, there were plenty of recruiters who
Wow.
started messaging me. So I think you should remain active on LinkedIn. That's really important and it really worked for me.
Wow. And so, yeah, and also, like you just said, you did a couple of posts, did some
Yeah.
posting, and so they saw some of your work,
Yeah.
your stuff, and then that kind of triggered them to start connecting with you. So that's a real
Yeah.
good key as well, I think,
Yeah.
what you did. So you got
Yes.
everything nice and sharp, you posted regularly, and that got
Yeah.
you noticed. And you got to do these things these days because there's so much noise in the marketplace.
Yeah.
So many people that are looking for jobs that in this field that you have to stand out in some way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And LinkedIn is a perfect place to showcase your talent.
I really,
Yeah.
really believe that as well. I mean, I've said, we always say this right across the board, that everyone that is a participant with us and then goes over to the internship with MVP Studio, you must have your LinkedIn profile up to scratch because you're perfect. You said that they came to you. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
that's the perfect scenario, isn't it? The
Yeah.
perfect scenario.
Yes.
So what would you say to someone that is like trying, like you said you came from India in 2018 and you found a struggle, you didn't, there was a bit of a gap kind of thing, and obviously didn't find any employment in that field. What would you say to someone that's actually going through the same thing? They've had experience overseas, but actual local experience in what the market needs in the country they've come to. What would you say to them? What would kind of like encouragement would you say to them?
So the very first thing I'll say to them is I'll suggest MVP and IC. Apart from suggesting this, I'll give them few tips like working on their CV, working on their behavioral part, and also it's very important to know by yourself what job you are looking for, because there are plenty of jobs, there are plenty of tools, there are plenty of technologies. So you should know what you want to learn, what you want to work upon, because when you mention so many things in your resume, the other person really get confused as to what your background is and what you're looking for. So CV is the very first thing everyone should work upon, and rest everything. So when you work upon your CV, then you get to know that what you have to study and for what jobs you have to apply for. So yes, this is, I think, the important for people who have moved to different countries and are looking for job.
Yes, exactly. Well, those are good tips and good encouragement. Thank you so much, Sam, for joining us tonight and spending some of your time with us to
Thank you
share
so
about
much,
your journey.
Carla.
We're so proud of you, Sam, for what you've
Thank
done and where
you.
you're at. I mean, we're just really excited for you. And I know Mersha, you know Mersha, in
Yeah. Oh,
Australia, our
I,
IC awesome person. She's so
I
happy
want to
for
add.
you.
I remember Moshe calling me when I joined TrainLink, and she was damn excited. She was, yeah, yeah. I felt she was like more excited than I am. So this community is like very close to my heart. I can't like detach myself from MVP and IC now. So this everyone in this community is really helpful. Everyone, all the colleagues, even they are helpful. So we have this mentor thing also. So all my mentors, they were really helpful. They did had lots of patience because I used to ask lots of questions. So yes, this community is very close to my heart. Yes,
Oh,
and I'm, yeah.
oh, you're with us forever as soon as you join. It's just like family, you know that, don't you?
Yeah, I
It's
know.
true. It's a lifetime connection, lifetime membership with us and MVP Studio. So we look
Yes.
forward to hearing from you as you go through your career. And
Yes.
do keep in touch, Sam.
Yes, definitely. So we have this bit country where we can write all our posts. So I'm active
Yes.
there, and yes, that's bit country and skill swap provided by MVP. They are damn helpful, especially for
Mm.
me. The bit country part was very helpful because I started writing. So when you start writing posts or articles, you have to first go through it. You have to learn first, then only you can write articles. So yes, bit country was really helpful for me. So I'll again start writing posts whenever I'll get time.
Yes. Well, thank you so much again, Sam. And we just wish you all the best for your future and your career in this job and moving up the ranks.
Thank you so much, Carla, and thank you so much everyone from MVP and IC. And thank you everyone who joined this session.
Awesome, fantastic. Thanks again, and thank you everyone who watched and are watching this replay. If you've got anything you'd like to ask, just comment in our comments and one of the team will get back to you. Okay, have a great evening, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.